mystery readers and writers. Welcome to Write a Killer Mystery, where we talk about making a good mystery great. And today we're going to talk about your author style, the style of your story, and how it impacts that reader with a voice, tone, and mood. First, I want to thank my patrons on Patreon. And if you would like to support this series, there's a link in the description below. Okay, voice, tone, and mood. Your mystery novel style. When your reader finishes your story, they will remember your style. It's very true. Your style impacts how they felt as they were reading your story. And when you combine your style with a satisfying ending, they'll remember your story long after they've actually read the story. So voice, tone, and mood all work together to create the style of your mystery story. Closely aligned, they represent how you tell that story, and you want that style to resonate with your reader. So the three are very closely aligned. They're so closely aligned that it's hard to tell them apart. So we're going to look at what is involved in each of them. But when it's time to edit your story, working on the craft of your style, then you will improve your reader's experience while they're reading your story. So more importantly, your style will help them recall their reading experience whenever they think of your book. And this is especially true if you have more than one book. They're like, oh, really like reading that author's stories because they like the way the story made them feel. All right. So let's talk about voice first. Your voice in the novel. This is the big overarching, it's the way your reader hears the story. Right? So voice is your way of writing, and it comes across on the page, and readers recognize your voice. It's one of the reasons that they do come back for every book in your series. I mean, just like your voice on the telephone, the voice you give your novel is yours, and it's distinct. It's how someone can pick up the phone, hear your voice, and know it's you, and it's the same thing with your novel. Your voice is very distinct. But inside your voice is just about everything. It's like the syntax, your vocabulary, your paragraph structure, your tone, your point of view, the sentences, the paragraphs, and how they all flow in your particular manner. It's your way. It's your way. It's the way you write, right? So you may write in short, clipped sentences or longer, more expansive phrases. Each paragraph could be 2 sentences or 5. And the way you write influences how your reader hears your story. So voice is essentially your personality, your writing personality, coming through in your writing. And your distinct voice is part of your author brand. People recognize you because of your voice, and they like reading your stories because they like the way they feel while they're reading your stories. Okay, within voice, we have a couple of other things that impact your reader, and one is tone, and it's a major component of your author voice. Tone reflects your attitude toward the events in the story. Tone is attitudinal, all right? For example, in first-person point of view, the narrator, your protagonist, expresses opinions about everything they encounter. And in third-person point of view, the character's actions and deep point of view establish your tone in your story. In a mystery, your detective sees clues and meets suspects in every encounter that you give your detective is an opportunity to express their attitude about their job, about their case, about the world around them and the people that they meet. And while your voice is constant, tone is a variable that changes with each scene or chapter. All right, so tone is your attitude that comes through. And while I just want to have one more note about tone, and that is that while the tone can change from chapter and scene, you do want to have a consistent tone throughout your novel. All right, and then mood is the emotional atmosphere that you create. So a cozy mystery may be sassy and lighthearted, even though it revolves around a crime, and a noir mystery will create a sense of impending doom and darkness that make the story noir, which is French for dark or black. All right. Traditional mysteries may have moments of darkness balanced with light moments with a sidekick or a mentor or a love interest. And while the mood may vary from one scene or character to chapter, your story will have an overall mood in the way you create that overall atmosphere. So, how do you develop your writing voice? Whether you know it or not, your writing has a voice. And but beginning writers may want to strengthen their voice to make it more unique and memorable to readers. To learn to use your voice and to have more control over your writing voice, start by identifying your writing process. Identify what comes naturally to you, and then work on making improvements. For example, if you are awkward at first with an exercise book or a pad of paper at a coffee shop, instead try that on your desk. Just move around and see if actually your actual physical setting impacts how you write. In a recent article, writer Laurie Melchior suggested 3 questions to help you make your writing voice stronger. So I'll read you the 3 questions. Here we go. What 3 words would you use to describe yourself as a writer? How would you describe yourself as a writer in 3 words, all right? And how do people in your life describe your writing style? And then you may get feedback from your readers too about your writing style. And then the 3rd question is to look around at books that you read and movies and TV shows that you watch and recognize which voice resonates most with you. Asking yourself those 3 questions will help you hone in on what your writing voice is. And of course, the best way to develop your writing voice is to keep writing, because the more you write, the more attuned you are with your writing voice. So all of this goes together into your personal author style. Your voice is what the reader hears when they're reading, and you add to your voice with the attitude of tone and the atmosphere of the mood. And together you develop a strong voice that stays with your reader long, long after they've actually finished reading your book. All right, I hope that sort of demystifies what goes into your writing voice. And if you are thinking about writing a mystery, I encourage you to check out my course, Write a Killer Mystery, which walks you through all the basics of writing a mystery from that first story idea all the way through character development and plot ideas to writing the end. All right, thank you very much. Keep writing, and I'll see you next time.